Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday evening. It is 9 o'clock. Time for a live stream. But first, as always, a little music. Enjoy. We are all the heirs to Scotland. As a nation proud we stand, we will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let a flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. To the world we bid a welcome in 1,000 different ways. We will toast to long lost friendships as we build our better days. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. We are all the heroes of Scotland. We're a nation hand in hand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. Good evening, folks. I hope you're all well, comfortable and cozy, especially cozy. It's been really cold here. At least I felt it really cold here. So it's a weekend again. They come round so quickly, these weekends. Except when you're working, of course. When you're working, they seem never to come round. They seem to take forever. But it's an illusion of the mind. That's really dependent on how you feel about your job, as to how quickly weekends arrive and go. Anytime I was able to take a day off work, officially I'm talking about, I always tried to make a Monday so that would make my weekend longer. And I always enjoyed that. And of course, that means the following week is shorter as well. So there was a double value there for me. That's why I did it whenever I could. Couldn't always do it, of course, you know. The so called powers that be weren't too fussy for that idea. But never mind. So, as you all know, I was attending the hospital yesterday for a consultation, as they call it, to bring me up to date as to what's going on inside my body regarding the lung cancer. So, and I said I would let you all know how it went, because how it went would have a bearing on what I am able and prepared to do moving into the future. So, without blowing any trumpets or sounding any music, uh, I'll tell you how I got on. I was just about to ask, said, it's a duck. Couldn't remember when you said that was. Yeah, well, it was yesterday morning, 10:15. Absolutely bitterly cold, by the way. Anyway, I was seeing the consultant and her chief assistant, she's a nurse, chief nurse of some sort. And I took my son with me because he's off on holiday. And the other reason I took him is because I had to go out on Wednesday and I was a bit wobbly on my legs, So I thought I better take the wee fella just in case I feel as though I'm going to go down. But no, I was okay. So he was with me. And they have your scan up on the computer screens where you get to see it in all its glory. And apparently, the cancer is no worse than it was the last time they took a scan, which was way before Christmas last year. Now that means that it's doing what they want it to do. And what they want the cancer to do is obviously go away, which it will not do. Is it's staying inside the lung itself. Good evening, my dear. I'm feeling okay. I've just frozen, of course. And I'm just explaining to the folks here what happened at the hospital yesterday, what they said to me. So apparently the cancer is contained within the walls of the lung, and that's as good as it gets. That's as good as it'll ever be, unless God decides to produce a miracle and take it away entirely. But apart from that, that's as good as it gets. So they don't want to see me again for 3 months. I'll get a letter within the 3-month period, no doubt I'll be sent for another scan, and then I'll have another consultation. Yeah, it's great news. As I said, it cannot be any better than the news that is. It can't be any better than that. That's as good as it'll ever be. As I say, unless God gives us a miracle. Uh, so I'll be back in May. It's the early part of May. I think it's the 9th, if I remember correctly. 9th of May, I'll be back. No doubt I'll have had a scan, and I'll go back and they will tell me how things are. Well, that's it, Durst. The whole thing is, I was going on to go to explain that. Yeah, Treble M, I know, miracles do happen. That's absolutely correct. You're so correct there. Um, with the cancer contained inside the walls of the lung, and I've got two kinds of cancer, by the way. Typical me, I don't have a one kind. I've got two. I've got the most ferocious type of cancer and the slightly more milder type of cancer. So I've got the two of them. But anyway, they're both contained inside the walls of the lung. And that means it can't spread. It can't start a secondary cancer, as Durst is suggesting here. At least it's not spreading, he's saying, and that's correct. It's not spreading. And if you know anything about cancer, and I'm sure a lot of you do know too much, like myself, it's usually the secondary cancer that kills people, not the primary one. And that's why, as far as they were concerned, the primary aim was to make it reduce, and if not reduce, at least be contained. So that's where we are. If there happens to be Carol saying, wonderful to hear you're improving. I had stage 3 cancer last summer, and I'm in remission now. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, so you've been through this, Carol. You've been through this yourself. So it means that I can think a little bit further ahead than I have been thinking. Which I will then now begin to do. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, that's brilliant, Carol. You know, that's last summer to now. That's great. That's really great. And they're quite happy because my weight has gone up a little bit. Geez, 6 chemos and 33 radiation treatments. That's a lot. I didn't get that, certainly. What did I get? What was it? 4 or 5 chemos and 1 radiation. That was early on, of course. That was because I was bringing up blood, volumes of blood, and this radiation was targeted on the area that was causing the problem, and it solved the problem, thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. It's a lot of radiation treatments, though. It's a lot of chemo as well, 6. Good for you. Good for you. Long may it continue, Carol. That's what I say. Long may it continue. So, Treble M saying, Carol, you have been in the wars. Fantastic. You are on the mend. Absolutely. Cilius, good evening, sir. Not not on as much as I'd like nowadays, but I'm glad to join you once again. I hope you're not in discomfort and are of good cheer. No, the discomfort I get is from the blood clot in my right leg, cilius. That's where the problem comes from. Carol, I had a tumour on my vocal cord. Oof, and lymphoma involved. Treatments almost killed me. I was 180 when started, and now I am 130 pounds. So you've lost some weight there. I had the dietitian last week, Carol, and which I had been asking for because I had gone down to I was going down to 9.5 stone, and then going back up to 10, and a wee bit above 10, then back down again. So I was going up and down, up and down, and I knew that wasn't going to help me any. So I asked to see a dietitian, but by the time, well, I was discharged from hospital long before I saw her. She came out last week, and I was asking for the Ensure drinks that they can get for you. Now, I mention all of this, Carol, so that if you don't know about them, be aware of them. These Ensure drinks. They would, if you're not getting them, you should be getting them, especially in the weight loss that you've had, going from 180 to 130. Not everybody likes them. I happen to like them, and one a day is all you need to take. They've put me on a trial of a month, so I've got 30 of them sitting in my fridge, and I'll be taking one a day to see how that goes in terms of weight control. But my weight has gone up to close to 11.5 stone, so they're pleased with that. Now that's mainly because I'm eating a better quality of food than before. But if you've not heard of these Ensure drinks, try and get hold of a dietitian and see if they should be able to. They should give them to you with the weight loss you've had. Anglo. Aspirin is good for thinning the blood. So, yup. I've got prescription blood thinners from the hospital, and the good thing about that is, should I run out of them, which I have done, I can phone up the hospital and nip out to the hospital and get a supply of these pills. Um, They tell me that it might never go away, this blood clot, or it might go away, it might go down. What's this you're saying, Carol? I had a feeding shoe in for 4 months and they supplied me with high calories and protein. Hard to gain weight though. Well, yeah, of course it is, because it's not just a physical thing. You've got worry, stress. You've got stress, and that is difficult to overcome. I don't know where he is, Trevelyan. It's not like Steve not to be here. Uh, I say the Ensure drinks simply because they are designed for people with cancer of all sorts, and it does help to put the weight back on. So if you're having that problem, you need to go through a dietitian. Well, I'm saying that, Carol, I don't know where you live, but in this area in Scotland, you've got to go through a dietitian. Check with your GP first, see what they say, and try and get a hold of these drinks. At least try them. It might be the boost that your body needs to get up and running again. And again, you may not like them. Streaky reckons he's run off with a black woman. Who knows? So that's my story anyway, and you obviously you've come through the mill somewhat yourself, Carol. Radiation treatments fried my throat and saliva glands, taste buds. Hard to swallow anything, but I'm on the up and up now. Good. Feeling stronger every day. That's great to hear. That's why I'm suggesting these drinks, because they are fluid and they're not difficult to get down. Yeah, they must be wide asleep, Don and Linda. Well, there's a lot of radiation treatment you had there, Carol, to be honest, you know? And of course, it's not a uniform treatment either. It's made to measure for you, so it could have been pretty severe. Excellent. Have a go anyway, that's all I'm saying. It might just be what you need to get a boost. Oh, it's bound to be rough, Duck. There's no doubt about it. I only had that one time, and it didn't. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it fries your skin, or can do. Um, but as I say, I only had it the once, so not a lot to complain about. Can you imagine? Because I say you may have had a heavy dose. Who knows? How would we know unless they tell you? I never asked. I was only concerned about getting the blood to stop. Otherwise, as I say, I wouldn't be here. And that's not an exaggeration. That's what they told me. It was as simple as that. So, well, that's that radiation poisoning. It's like after an atomic bomb, it's the same kind of poison that's in the air. But you're here. You're moving on. You're still here. You're getting stronger, you say yourself. And we're all rooting for you. And that's all good. And the summer's coming. I was going to ask that myself, Treble M, but thanks for doing it. Tend to forget some of the folks are from abroad that come. Maybe Steve has forgotten I'm on. Oh, Kansas, oh goodness. No, that changes the whole complexion of what I've been saying. I have no idea what they have over there in the States. I was just making a bold assumption that you were living here in the UK. So, but this must be a universal medication, this Ensure drink. Must be. You should ask your GP anyway. I don't know how that works in the States, obviously, in terms of cost and all that. I'm not that clued up about it. No, I think what I will do is I'll put on a bit of music. This is a song. It's not mine. It's written and played by Durst. It's called The Once and Future King. I played it there the other night, so I'm playing it again.
In a cave at the side of a crooked hill, a bearded future king sat still to watch a spider climb. 7 times he tried. And as he watched the spider climb, only to slip down again, he felt a kindred soul and shared its lofty goal. And as he watched that spider climb, only to slip down again. He wished the spider well, two hermits in a cell. Then up the silken thread went he, slow and sure and carefully, until he reached his home, and balance was restored. The once a future king took heed, employed the lessons he would need to win his rightful throne. When balance is restored,
Nice, eh? Can't say anything about influences here, Celius. Don't know Pink Floyd's material well enough to make that kind of comment myself. I just thought it was rather good when I heard it for the first time. I think you're right, Streaky. It was last week I played it. It can, it can be heard a few times, put it that way. Yes, this is a chief. This is chef's country out here. Really hyping up this Super Bowl. Yeah, it's a good song. Nice arrangement, the way what he's done with it. Simple but tasteful. I'd rather watch grass grow than watch American football. Hiya, Packer. Nice to see you here. My son goes over to his pals to watch it, as we don't have any television here at all, of course. But we did watch it. I mean, I did watch it myself. And I have been to a live game when I was out in America in '93. I took I took us to the Arizona team. Uh, it was interesting, for somebody like me who's never been to football matches or anything like that. It was interesting. What I didn't like and found it rather strange is that every time the ball goes out of play, they stop. They just stand still and adverts come on. And obviously for television. Uh, that's not where I was going. There's where I was going. Good evening, William. Yeah, have you heard from Steve? He's not on. 1893, yes, a very good year indeed. A vintage year, if I remember correctly. Wouldn't watch myself, to be honest. So yes, those boys are some athletes. So yeah, some of them are really fit. Some of them are really big. Credit where it's due. Nearly 300 pounds. Some of them, and quick and agile. Yep, they can be. But the idea of the game getting interrupted like that all the time is, yeah. I had been used to watching it on television, recorded. So all that stopping and starting had been cut out. And that's the way to watch it if you're going to watch American football, is that way, not live. Well, I got good news, William, yesterday at the hospital. So I'm not to go back for 3 months. So that's good news. Well, when I was there, Carol, um, 93, not 1893, but 1993. Um, we paid, well, I paid $100 for the tickets. But to be fair, I mean, I thought it was a bit of a rip-off, to be honest, until I got to the stadium. And then when I got to the stadium, and remember, this is Arizona, folks, we're talking about in the 100 odd temperature. So it's sweltering. Thank you, William. Um, and of course, I had come along with plastic bag full of soft drinks to see us through the afternoon. But they confiscated our soft drinks. I wasn't pleased about that. But what I didn't know was that included in the price of the ticket was all the food that you can eat. There's food on the go all the time, right? Nuts and crisps and all that sort of stuff. And there's cooked food, hot dogs, and what do you call it, burgers and what have you. And you can get that, you can eat as much of that as you like. And along with all of that, you get soft drinks. So when you take that into consideration, and if you're a big eater, you take that and you're seeing the game. There's entertainment at the beginning of the game. There's entertainment halfway through, and at the end, these girls come out and dance around and what have you. Well, I didn't know either until we got there. I was pretty peeved when they took our drinks away because I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to have to pay a fortune now for a cup with some lemonade in it. But no, it was all included in the ticket price, so you could help yourself to as much as you liked, and that was really good value then. And as I say, on top of that, you get this entertainment. There's always a band comes out and plays in midway, a college band, and they're not bad. And then you've got all those hooray girls the side of the park, dancing about, good entertainment. So overall, you know, it's a, I think it was value for money, to be honest, when I take it all into consideration. Uh, but again, it's curious. It's, when the ball goes out of play, they stop. They just stand there. That's curious. Yeah, that's it. The Arizona Cardinals. That's who we went to see. You're quite right, Silius. I'm sure Carol could correct me if that's incorrect. No, you're quite right. It's the Arizona Cardinals. They're not in the Sundance Stadium anymore. Right, that's right next to the college. They're not there now. They've got a new place. Well, it's not so new anymore, but they moved to another place further from the college. Carol saying football games are rigged. I have been seeing right lots of videos showing them guys missing an easy tackle, etc. Well, I don't know about over there. I don't know about over here. I've never been to a football match, Carol. It's one of those things. It's on a bucket list for me. My friend has got a season ticket for Celtic and has promised me that, well, him and his wife have got tickets, and he has promised me that he'll take me along sometime. I can't say I'll be really sad on my deathbed if I don't get to see Celtic playing. Oops, what's this? President Biden should have done a speech at the Super Bowl break, but he's not safe to be left alone and speak to the public. The evil, demented basket, says Streaky. Probably wouldn't know where he was. I heard the other day that he had been talking to a couple of dead French presidents. Yeah. Oddly enough, it's one of these things, but going to football games. Well, that's for sure, Doc. He wouldn't have been heard over the jeers. Uh, anyway, now what was I going to say? Yeah, my mother used to always say that I really missed out, because my father died when I was so young and I was never taken to a football game. Thus, I have no interest in it. Uh, but oddly enough, I don't feel as though I've missed anything. I didn't know that, would you? Celtic fans are now waving Palestine flags and Antifa flags. So I don't think they are your team, John. Well, as I said to my pal, well, you're quite right, Robert. That's the way I'd see it. What an atmosphere. If you get a good game there, the fans' political stances and worldview notwithstanding. I, that's what I said to my pal. I said, well, if I'm going to go to one of these things, as part of my bucket list, it would it would make more sense if there was something important attached to the game, not just a football game. Well, I think that's quite correct, William. I think you're absolutely right. You can only miss it if you know it. So you've not missed anything. That's the way I see it. This always bothered my mother for somehow. I think just my mother's attitude to what a boy, especially a Scottish boy, should experience growing up with his father. And then on the other hand, she used to say, "Yeah, well that's what killed him, going to that Morton. Went out there too many times and got soaked, and that's what led to his illness." She would always have these two attitudes. I'm a very untypical Celtic fan, says Robert. Get yourself to a Greenock Morton versus St Mirren. Oh gosh, oh I know about them. Talking into a pie and cup of Bovril whilst you're there. Maybe you'd be more your thing. Well, oddly enough, when I lived in Paisley, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I lived in Paisley for about 10 years, and I wasn't too far from the home ground for St Mirren. So the whole street would get taken over on a Saturday when we were playing at home. And it was quite curious, me being a Greenokian and listening to all this chanting about Greenock Morton and all that. Well, there you go. They win tonight. Morton had a great win tonight in the Scottish Cup. I remember when they were in the final a lot of years ago in the 60s or the late 50s. The town was a buzz, you know. Love Street, that's it. That's it, silliest. Love Street, yeah. So there you go. Yeah, the town was really caught up in the whole affair. Shops had scarves and cars and whatnot. Yeah, and I don't know if they win it or not, but it's never been that way again. I don't think they've ever go that far again. I wouldn't know, of course. And mum called my father. We did go. So, but the idea of standing out in the rain and the cold to watch 22 grown men run about a football pitch kicking a ball, seems a bit kind of odd. But that's just me. I don't understand why these stadiums are not covered in. I mean, it's going to rain here, so why don't they cover the stadiums in? And do they actually have toilets these days? I don't know. Seems a lot of money, and the facilities seem to be very rudimentary. So You can see I'm not. Aye, silly SI. Fair play to the Ton. Rangers man myself playing Ayr United at Ibrox tomorrow. And that's another thing about football, isn't it? I mean, they just shuffle it all around to suit television. Joker ball. Don't get me wrong, I have watched football. I'm not saying that I've never watched football. Of course, I have watched football on television. I'm old enough to have seen some of the great names in football play on television. Uh, I've watched the World Cup on television, obviously. But when it comes to international games, such as the World Cup, uh, I support Scotland the minute. But then the minute Scotland go out, which is usually the first round, I start supporting England until they go out, and then I support Germany until they win it. That's usually what I do. But I really don't know much about it. I'm not sure of all the rules and what have you. I don't really understand offsides, and to be honest, I really don't. Um, I don't think you need to enjoy it. Used to watch like when Celtic had Larson. I thought he was a fabulous player, that fella. Larson, he played for Celtic for a while. And some dirty player tripped him and broke his leg. so, oh, so Stanley Matthews, the first knighted football player. Well, there you go. Iceland or Croatia. So it's tricky. I support Scotland, says William, or whoever is playing against England. Oh, Henrik Larsson, I mean, he was just something else. Boy, could he run. Yeah, the cleverest feet win. Very good. Yeah, but that Henrik Larsson, oh, gee. Could he play? Yeah, brilliant player. Cleverest feet win. I don't think Germany are the team that they once were, to be honest, Duck. Germany were close, were class a few World Cups ago, yeah, when they beat Brazil 7-0. That was brilliant. I predicted a 5-0 before they started. They outdid that. Wow, good for you. Yeah. I remember Scotland played Brazil the opening game, and Scotland scored the first goal. And at that point, I remember saying to my son, "We're in trouble. We scored a goal against Brazil. We're in trouble," and we were. After that, it was all defence for us, for Scotland. That is. Yeah, even after his leg was broken, I mean, he did come back from that. But how miserable and dirty and low can you get doing that? Oh, he was such a tremendous player. As you all have said, fast, clever with dribbling with the ball and passing. I mean, the whole aspect of his game was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Archie Game, yeah, he was another world class player. Again, they did the same to him. They were always kicking his legs. Pelé said the same. I remember he was interviewed television years ago, obviously, and he said the same thing. Killed his legs, getting kicked all the time, bang, bang, bang. Got beat 2-1. Tom Boyd on goal. See that? Jesus. Silliness. I remember that. I vaguely remember that game, John. Poor old Scotland, yeah. You could see it coming when they scored. It was like poking a hornet's nest. Oh, merciless Ronaldo and company. Oh, I don't think we were embarrassed too much. I mean, it was Brazil after all. But I don't think, the goals didn't get into double figures or anything. Streaky. No disrespect to Scottish football, but Larson spent too long there. I suppose when you're talking about his personal career and money, it's probably true. Larson loved it, according to William. I don't know. I don't. That's as far as I can go with it. That's what I already said. He's one of these football players who can almost win the game himself. The other 10 guys can keep the ball out of the goal and Larson will win the game for them. He loves Scotland, he says Streaky. He was loyal to Celtic. Don't see that nowadays. No, you don't see much loyalty anywhere, folks. He said even an African like me is accepted as a joke. I suppose there's many things about playing in a country that isn't your homeland. You need to take into consideration, it won't just be the money, the other things, your comrades, how do you go on with them, and if you're married, how's the wife like it here, and all the rest of it. So there'll be all sorts of different factors, I expect, that would sway you whether you wanted to stay or not. He may not have been that ambitious. You need to eat haggis first, says William. No, he was not a Kenny Dalglish. That was another superb player we used to have. Yeah, absolutely. Anglo, it's debatable, says he. I've heard I've heard Pelly say Stanley Matthews taught us how to play football. Stoke legend. Well, he was a great player too, of course. Stanley Matthews. And that's the era, if I'm not mistaken, that played with the heavier football, the one that I would play with in school, the real leather thing, heavy, knock your brains out if you get hit with it. Well, that's quite a compliment for Pellet to say that. I suppose when they talk, something like Pele or any of these big name football players, when they talk about other football players, they'll see those football players in a light that we won't necessarily see them in because they're looking for different things. Stanley Matthews, says Streaky, was amazing. He honestly believed he shouldn't have retired at 45, I think. Well, that's old for a footballer. Is it not? Played until he was 50. Good God. Duck saying Pele was a great actor. He said he was too early to retire. Legend. To think Kenny could have been a Rangers legend. Let him go from the youth squad and told hard luck, but we'll keep an eye on you, son. A polite way of saying you're not up to it, really. Good God, didn't know that. Well, what would I know about football? That's amazing. Made a mistake there, all right, didn't I? Well, I tend to agree with you there, Sillius. How they regret that decision, I would think. Absolutely. All the Brazilians are great actors. Yeah, absolutely. Dalglish and Rush. Wow, some front duo for Liverpool. Ronaldo in Breaking Bad. Ronaldo was class in Breaking Bad. Yeah, that's a funny old game, football, eh? It's not a conversation I can add very much to. Sorry to say. So I'll likely be back on Tuesday night for a live stream, unless something turns up, of course. Nothing outlandish or whatever turns up. Should be on Tuesday. Mad how some of the best players are the best cheaters, says William. Again, you would need to watch enough football to be able to say that. I couldn't say that. There's somebody who knows a bit about the history. Notts County, the oldest professional football club in the world, 1861. Wow. Stoke the second, 1863. Becoming more emasculated every season, unfortunately, says Robert. No, I don't know. Here's a wee song. I hope you enjoy.
Seen the Black Hills and the Mall of Kintyre, stood in the great glen when the sky seemed on fire, trampled the Cairngorms down to Glencoe, stood on the shoreline, watched the northern lights glow. So here's to old Lang Syne, God bless bonny Dundee, and the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me. Often I've walked down Edinburgh Mile, felt my heart lifted by Glasgow's great smile, toasted the bard in the usual way. I like the old song sung the old-fashioned way. So here's to old Lang Syne, God bless bonny Dundee, and the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me. So here's to old Lang Syne, God bless bonny Dundee, and the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me. Saturday trips to Stirling's old town, Inverness Castle with the moon shining down, Musselburgh High Street on a fair Friday night, and Oran's sweet beauty is her peaceful delight. So here's to old Lang Syne, God bless bonny Dundee, and the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me. And the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me. And the haunting words of the Skybolt song mean so much to me.
Well, thanks for that, Streaky. Don't know which song you're talking about, but thanks for the compliment. And that you off, Carol. Really enjoyed spending time with you all. So happy for you, John. Keep your spirits up high. Good night, everyone. And don't forget what I said about those drinks. Ask your doc, chase it up, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Yeah, Kansas, eh? Duck saying, I think that song would also work well with just the vocals on the slower tempo. Hmm. Yeah, I get the point you're making, Duck. Yeah. Well, you could do that in a folk club situation. You could do it that way. Here, Willem. And I was going to mention Toffee and Sensum on Monday, later on Monday. Yeah, that's a great thing about music, isn't it? You can, well, within limits, you can move it around, and it changes the feel of the song. Streaky. All I remember the song had two words. I was a bit drunk. John, can you sing every two-worded title now? I will shout stop when you reach the one, I think. Thank you, Anglo. I don't know how many I've got. Quite a few, I would think. Two words, though. Borstal Boys one, Flags and Drums another, Empty Chairs, but I played that just the other week. Yeah, Celluloid Hero. Yeah, yeah. John Lennon, John McLean, John's song. Got a few. Got a few. Made in America. And that's two words. Well, that's absolutely true, Duck, of course. That's was what I meant, says Duck. Change the feel of it. The listener can take something different from an alternative forum. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, William. It conjures up nice memories. I love that one. I have great memories of being in Dundee with my late father, walking up Low Hill and walking the Tay Bridge. That's nice. That's nice. That's a song I lost for 20 odd years. I wrote it for a professional singer who was appearing on BBC at the time. It's way back, and I recorded it and I gave it to this man who could write music, and he wrote it out music for him, and then I just changed my mind about sending this to this singer, and I put it away and forgot all about it. Anglo wants to know who's choosing the next movie review. Well, it's actually Eki. I'll need to jag him up on it. I've no idea what he's chosen. So I'll need to do that, find out what he's chosen. Because we don't have access to that channel anymore. That's a bit of a bother. No, I know you weren't criticising it, Doc. I know that. I understand. You're just making a second suggestion. I wasn't criticising the version that you played, though. It was just something that I was hearing in there. Yeah, I get that. There's nothing wrong in that. No offence taken or anything. That was silly. I often do that myself when I listen to my own songs or somebody else's songs. Think about different ways it could be done, or could have been done slower or faster, or whatever, different instruments in there. Uh, it's one of the troubles. I think I spoke to you about this before, Doc. Um, I think it's uh, it's one of the problems that you have when you're working by yourself, as I have for most of my life. Um, you settle into a way that you hear music in a particular form, and so when you write a new song, there's so much of it becomes settled before you even start. Now, in one level, that can be okay, but on another level, it can become a bit repetitive for an audience. Um, and that's where it's good if you've got someone you collaborate with. When I made that record all those years ago, I was working in collaboration with others, and I think it shows because I was getting different ideas thrown at me, and a lot of them I rejected, and some of them I kept. And to me, it was a better way of working. But later on, when I got my own equipment, weren't around anymore, and there was nobody around anymore who was a musician. So I ended up on my own. Duck saying in reply, "Yeah, John." I do get a sense of what I'm writing, and I tend to stay the course. Yeah, this is what happens. I often, I've often wished, there was someone there that I could have called on, to come in and try some other thing, Thinking of somebody like that Hud Swan. I knew fabulous, fabulous. Oh, there's Scott's Armour. Fabulous, fabulous fiddle player. Absolutely brilliant. And he played a couple of things on other tracks for me. But by the time I got this other equipment that I went on to use a lot, I had lost touch with Hud, which is the great shame because he could have done so much with some of the material. Scott's Armour. I got good news at the hospital yesterday. They don't want to see me again for 3 months. Um, I'll get a letter at the beginning of May sometime. Oh, there's Steve there. You get no alert. Is that what's wrong? I was going to phone you too. Trouble was, most of the afternoon we didn't have any electricity here. I was busy doing other things. So I'm sorry about that. Jemima, Buttleduck. A lot of hair. So yes, Scott's Armour. That's good news. They don't want to see me for 3 months. Well, it means that yeah, brilliant. It means that we've got an opportunity now to do that street interviewing with no chance, which I'm looking forward to. Oh, that's absolutely true. No doubt about that. Some people have a gift for arrangements and variations, John. You hear some musicians testifying to that. Actually, a few people over the years have asked me to do uh, arrangements for them, uh, fill in, different things in the backgrounds for them. So you're absolutely right. I'm not saying I'm great at it. No. Oh, there's another guitar player. Ludwig was just singing and playing Cold, Cold Heart a little while ago. The great Hank Williams' beautiful songs. Good for you. Good for you. So yes, you were missed, Steve. And had I not been derailed by this power outage, I would have phoned you as my intention was. I score a song better than you. get lost with that aspect. Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you. I've got no special instructions, by the way, from the doctors about how to carry on, in terms of diet or anything like that. Just to carry on as is. So that's all good news. So, as I say, be able to be able to get into that street interview and stuff with no chance. I'm actually looking forward to that. So, what else can I tell you? I haven't yet. Haven't yet sat down and listened to the interview with Putin and Carlson. Again, it was part of what was going to happen this afternoon, but didn't obviously. Uh, I'll get around to it over the weekend at some point. So we'll see what he has to say. I don't know if he'll say anything that he will be mind blowing. I don't think so. Depends on the questions and how they're asked. Oh, thank you very much, St. Thomas Aquinas. Ah, ah. God bless John Davidson. May he live for another 100 years. Yeah. I mean, there's one thing about Putin, I'm sure you all are well aware. This man is very educated. Uh, not only in the history of Russia, but European history as well. Apparently, most Russians are very proud of their country and very knowledgeable about their country, which is more than can be said for most of us. No, he is. That's without a doubt, Streaky. That is without a doubt. He is a statesman and speaks like a statesman. Well, as I say, Ludwig, I haven't seen it yet. A legendary piece of journalism for which he'll no doubt be castigated. Putin came across as very sane and measured. Good. And they're going to, the EU is going to ban him, Tucker that is, from Europe. But these other people, Anglo saying Russians have an identity crisis, in my opinion. They don't know whether they're European, Slavs, or Mongol. I don't know. I'm not as certain as you seem to be, Anglo. No, they'll slate it, Streaky, because they're jealous. It's not them that's done it. There's disgusting British media like GB News are slating the interview. Of course they will. We're the bad guys in this. Well, that's for sure. Well, of course, Durst, I agree with you. Master diplomacy. It really is. And you think, folks, I've enjoyed listening to Putin's speeches for a few years. Yeah, but when you think on it, I mean, he stands there for hours in front of the world press and the home press, I expect, and delivers answers to all these questions without notes, without references. Rory is saying, "Good evening, Rory." There's a funny meme on the Putin interview. Turka asking Richie Sunak about British history. Rishi replied, "Well, it started with the Empire Windrush in 1948." Streaky. Biden has to read an outcome. Oh, an auto cue. Sorry. Biden has to read an auto cue to wipe his arse. That's a bit cruel. And he still messes it up, as you say, Duck. Well, I think I'm going to watch the interview in sections. I don't think I'm going to sit there and wade my way through it. I think I'll take it in pieces. Patton was correct, says Angler. We were fighting the wrong people in World War II. Yeah. Oh, I agree with that, Durst. Europeans should not be fighting each other. We have bigger fish to fry. Absolutely. Well, folks, I'm so pleased that you all turned up. So I'll repeat so that everyone understands what I'm saying. Uh, I'll be here next week, Tuesday. I'll set up a stream for Tuesday. And I'll start. Yeah, it's great news, Steve. And that's the great news that I'm on my own for up until the 9th of May, and we'll see what happens then. If things remain as they are, then it'll be the same again. It seems to be the way it works. So, no chance, and I have got an opportunity here with the weather changing, I hope, to get out and do some of these street interviews, which I'm looking forward to doing. I think that could be a good bit of fun there to be had. So that's something to look forward to. And I'm just going to close up now because I really don't have much else to say except we need to not forget the people who are being wounded and that are dying in Gaza. As the world sits and does nothing. So there you go, folks. As always, adios, au revoir, cheerio, and until Tuesday, bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If it's nice where you are, get some fresh air, go for a short walk. I'm hoping to do the same. But for the moment, I'll say cheerio. Enjoy the music.
Silently the snow falls, paints a winter scene. swiftly spreads the dark rim, hides the fading autumn green. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, conjure friendships dear to me. Lightly now the breeze flows, disturbing more than just the leaves. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow. Patiently the love grows, lifts the weary heart. Gently now she holds me, melts two worlds once apart. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, usher dreams of you and me. Softly then the breeze blows, disturbing more than just the trees.
All together now.
But love's much more,
So much more.
than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow. Melodies of long ago, songs of innocence, harmonies to soothe the soul, have some consequence. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, awakening joys of you and me. Silently the snow falls, bringing winter symphony.
All together now.
But we're much more,
So much more
than we can know.
than we can ever possibly know.
We are one small glow
But an important glow
in the eternal flow. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow.
Okay, folks, take care, and we'll speak soon. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye just now.